So, in the beginning of the year, I was looking into getting a better laptop. And I was consulting my friend who knew about computers, and he was like, yo, you should just get a PC. It's like, it'll be better and better value for what you'll get out of it rather than a laptop. And it's basically impossible to build a custom laptop. So I said, hey, sure, I'll do that. My friend told me, graphics cards are really expensive because of cryptocurrencies and all that. They're really utilized for that sort of stuff. So he went looking online and he found in a local store there was a graphics card that was quite good, for quite good value, even for before cryptocurrencies were such a big thing. That was crazy good find. So I went into the shop and what do you know? They didn't actually have it. And they've been out of that thing for 2 years, and they have a bug with their website that makes it still show up on their website. I wonder if that's on purpose or not. I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it isn't, I'm not saying what brand of shop it was. So please don't legally pursue me, random shops that don't know what shop I'm talking about. Thanks. So yeah, graphics card is a tricky thing. But what do you know? We found out there's this integrated graphics CPU coming out from AMD in February. And I was like, okay, that's really good value. And it's got graphics in it, and I don't need to buy a really expensive graphics card for now. So that's great. I'll go with that. Now last year I got this old computer, and it's really old and bad, and I never really used it because it's old and bad. But my friend said, hey, you could take the fan out of that and use that in your new computer. That's about the only component from that you could really salvage and actually use. We didn't actually end up using it though because it didn't have proper screw holes, and also it was probably going to be really loud. And also it was like twice as thick as normal fans nowadays. So whatever, got a fan extracted from a computer. Now I have this random fan lying around in my room. Started ordering the parts started coming in. You got the Samsung SSD, the Seagate hard drive, you got the Asus motherboard. We'll come back to that in a hot minute now. By the way, initially when I posted the picture of the motherboard, I accidentally fucking doxed myself, which was just great. I'm officially a YouTuber now because I am so popular that I get doxed. Wow, look at me. Fucking hell. Got the power supply in, got the case in. It's a pretty nice case. It was a little bigger than I expected it to be, but it's doing fine. And we got the APU, as they call it, or the integrated graphics CPU thing that AMD recently released, the 2400G. Just for some perspective, previously on my laptop, which was really bad anyway, a video that would take at least 3 hours to render on that would take 15 minutes now. So I set up an old monitor and an old keyboard and an old mouse for when I actually put together my computer. Shout out to my friend, by the way. There's a link in the description to something that he once shouted out. So click that, I guess, because he really helped me with the computer stuff, and thanks to him. My friend came over to my house for 2 reasons on the day. One was to just help me generally set up the computer, and 2 was to update my motherboard because the CPU that I got was so recent and the motherboard that I got wasn't as recent, and the BIOS needed to be updated in order for the CPU to work. And in order to update the BIOS on the motherboard, you need to get another CPU and another GPU to put into the motherboard to make the motherboard work, so you can plug in a USB and update the stuff. And hoo boy, did that day not go well. So yeah, my friend brought over his CPU and GPU. He brought over his old computer and just took him out from his computer and put him into mine. And after hours and hours of trying to make things work, we nailed it down to the motherboard is faulty. That's the only option that we had. That's the only way that could explain things not working. So thanks Asus for the faulty motherboard, which we got refunded thankfully enough, and we got a new motherboard. Came in the mail, what do you know, and then shtabam, and then shtabam, and then shtabam, and then shtabam. I come up to my friend's house with my motherboard. He updates the motherboard by putting his stuff into my motherboard and all that, like I just described, and it was working. Here's a picture of him doing it and it working. Isn't that a cool thing? That's a real cool thing. I like it that it worked and it wasn't faulty this time. That was great. And this first time that we tried to put together the computer, I made a bit of a mistake by screwing a thing into another of itself. We eventually separated them apart, but that was just a little awkward thing. I felt like, might as well mention that. And everything went well when we went back to my house and put it all together. It was very nice. It's a pretty cool thing, pretty cool setup for that I have Speak English, cunt. Here's some footage of us putting it together on that day, I suppose. PC World, curry PC World. Here's the AMD. The motherboard that we got is not faulty.
Yes. It's a good
Damn,
one.
I just made that rhyme. I am so good, it's a crime. We're gonna unbox this. That's this video, and the next video is probably gonna be, hey, look, it works. The video. Let's get some scissors over here. Oh, look. Steht und Blender. Don't you like that?
Yes.
Right, gonna stab my computer so that it doesn't work anymore. That's a good idea.
It is.
Alright,
Okay, let's go in for the close-up shot.
This is not a thin enough scissors to do this very well. Hey, I just fucking stabbed a bitch. Oh no, that didn't really work fully. That's very nice, very nice, very nice.
That
black
is the
packaging.
top of the cooler. Ooh.
It is the top of the cooler.
Yes.
Well, you guessed correctly, my friend, because it's the top of the cooler, and you
Top
win.
of the cooler to you, bud.
Top of the cooler to you, laddies.
Okay, let's open this boy.
Ooh, he's got a little funny thing.
That's
for
yeah.
power.
Header.
Bow, capiche.
Let's open the packet, boy. You got a little sticker, boy.
What's the sticker for? I can stick
Nothing.
it on my face.
Yeah, or on your
Oh,
arm.
it's for putting it on the side of the
Yeah,
thing,
you can
like
do
you
that.
do. Oh, you see it on the.
Yeah, that. Ta-da.
Damn!
Yeah,
I love
little-
stickers, as
Yes,
you can
and-
tell by where I don't know. I had stickers somewhere. Somewhere I
Never
had
mind.
stickers.
Yes.
I can't wait to do it.
Nice.
That's a nice little clip.
Shall I pause now?
Yeah. Anyway, well, what do you know? We're gonna give it the moment of truth,
Good old power button.
which there were so many of last week, and hopefully
Let's-
there'll only be one.
Let's
thanks.
go. Very quiet.
Sounds very quiet. It's probably still on HDMI from last time.
Is it?
Right?
Sure. Yeah, it is.
You know, give it a minute, because as you say,
Might take a minute.
it
Yeah.
might take a minute for the first time.
Fanny boys are spinning.
It's okay. Please be okay.
It should power on now.
I hope so. Anyway, I can't wait to see if the USB 3 thing still works.
Yes. Oh yes.
This is because like last time it broke,
Yeah.
as you may know. Fourth click.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't. I'm losing.
Now we
power.
have to check now.
Oh, let's go, baby. We have this
Finished.
thing
Complete. Nice.
spanking.
Spanking you.
Ready spanking. We're gonna finally peel this off
Yes.
for once and for all.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
It's nice. Ooh.
That
Yeah.
sound is very.
Appealing.
You got it.
Nice. It came back. It's a boomerang.
Yeah. Anyway, so, what's the most number one first thing that you should ever do when you're about to do a computer?
Plug in the magic
Stickers.
Oh, the stick. Of course, the stickers. Those are key to
There we go.
everything.
So we got. Oh, it's all like bubbly, reflective.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
nice and
I
reflective.
love
boys.
it. I love it.
Ryzen 5 boy.
All right, that's for the motherboard,
Yes.
which is not faulty. So
Yes,
definitely
Asus.
deserving of a sticker. That's a nice sticker. That's a nice
Nice.
damn sticker. Maybe we'll put all the stickers that I ever collect in my life
Just
down.
straight on this,
just straight on this.
like a scout's like little badge thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The color
Same, yeah.
coordination is just like the color coordination for the
Oh,
case.
it's really good.
So that's a nice coincidental, funny, very silver and thick sticker.
Thick boy, yeah.
That's
Like a
very
badge.
nice. That's some very nice stuff.
Ooh, that looks
I'm
nice.
sure I'll get another one of this exact same thing if I get an
AMD,
AMD GPU. So that'd be nice. My little collection of the exact same CPU stickers and whatever.
Yes.
I don't like how it's dark. I would much prefer if it's the clearest as possible so I can like look into it very nicely.
Yeah.
But you know whatever.
Get your lamp and put it in.
Yeah. Damn, boy. Damn, boy. Damn, boy. He's functional. Damn, boy. That's a functional ass boy. Damn, pow! That weekend I was like, hey, I've got a voucher for this store, and this store has a couple of things. So I cycled over and got a couple of things, and that was an RGB strip and an RGB fan. Only one fan came with the computer case, so I was like, hey, I'll get another fan. That's cool. And that's some extra nice stuff. The reason the fan in this picture was green rather than white like the rest of it is because it wasn't plugged in properly, and I had to take it all apart again and re-plug it in properly shortly after these photos were taken. So that was great. And then within the next week after that, I rearranged the positioning of the fans. Now if you want to see here, this is the initial fan that came with the case. It came in this position. And this is the little light up fan. But initially I put the light up fan here, so I had to take this out and unplug this and put that over there and put that guy in there. And then I later realized, oh, when you go in here, there's a lot of lights over here that are blinding me, and I'm often reaching over this way, so I moved it over there for that reason. Anyway, the lights are pretty cool. I can actually see through the glass now because the glass is tinted, and it's tinted because otherwise the lights would be really blinding. After putting in the RGB stuff, I got this thing about BitLocker, which I had set up to protect myself from, oh, someone plugs in a USB and hacks into my computer or whatever, and basically BitLocker protects that from ever happening, which is great. But that kind of thing isn't really going to happen, but whatever. I found my little code online because I had it saved to my Microsoft account, and I put it in, and it was like, oh, okay, you're allowed to use your computer again, and that was all cool. Anyway, boom, boom, pow, I got a Bluetooth adapter, I got an SD card adapter, I got a decent wireless mouse, kablamo, here he is, and I got a mechanical keyboard, skibbly diddly dibbly dibbly wop. It is a very nice experience. Wow, my setup is really swanky now, haha. Now I mentioned how I rearranged from having the light up fan over there down to there. When I did that, the BitLocker thing happened again, which, you know, what I thought, oh, whatever, I guess I'll do the same thing I did last time, which is type in the stuff from my Microsoft account. But, here's what happened. Hello, everybody. Hey, everybody. Just asking you, do you have your shit together? Because, Microsoft sure don't. Watch what happens, right? You know, turn on the computer, look at those lights, that's real cool, that's real nice, me likey, yes, me likey the lights, haha. Got a couple of different keyboards here, my new keyboard, my mechanical keyboard, very nice, very cool. So, this one is not plugged in, this one is plugged in, as you can see, it's plugged into the front, because I tried the back and it didn't work. Oh, watch, you gotta enter in a key. And it says, use the number keys F1 to F10. So F1, F2, F3, blah, blah, blah. Nothing's happening. I'm typing them all in. Use the normal number keys. Nothing's happening. For some reason, it's not taking keyboard input. Let's try plugging this other keyboard into the back and having this one plugged out. Yeah? How about that? Also, this is going to restart in like a couple of seconds now, because that's what it does every so, that's just what it does after a while. I have no idea how I'm going to fix this. If this screen is never going to take an input from my keyboard, which is what it requires for me to get past it. Microsoft, you really fucked me over on this one. I've no idea why it's like, oh, you can't have a keyboard. Yeah, I'll have to disconnect the SSD from the motherboard so that it can be like, oh, there's nothing here. Oh, press the buttons, not working, press the buttons on the thing that's not even connected to the thing. This is very nice. This is really nice. Me likey to Microsoft and how it does not accept keyboards. Why? What a load of fucking trash. Yo, this shirt fucking sucks. Haha. Pretty funny. So hey, wasn't that some bullshit? I disabled BitLocker after solving that bullshit. What I ended up doing was disconnecting my SSD so that it went into the BIOS so that the keyboard would work, so that I could reboot and connect the SSD and then go back in and have the keyboard work and type in the code. And then I disabled BitLocker after that because I do not want any more of that shit. Thanks. Everything's all good now. I set up a little thing up here, a little mount for my my phone to go, because I don't want to bother buying an actual webcam, and using my phone works just as well. So it's a little mount for putting my phone whenever I'm streaming, and it's got a nice long wire here to connect down to the computer because it's relatively far away from the computer. And I was gonna make a green screen out of post-it notes for like when I was live streaming, just to be like, oh, look at me, I'm on top of the game rather than in the corner of the game in a box. But I didn't have enough post-it notes, so whatever. And the most recent thing I did in terms of my computer is these boys over here. What do you know? What are they? What are those? They are some actually pretty decent speakers for being like over a decade old. Like, goddamn. Obviously there's more to go. I'm gonna get a different monitor soon enough. Matter of fact, guys, something came in the mail today.
These nuts. Got him!
I sure got you. But yeah, so the new monitor came in the mail, and it's really cool. It's a good monitor. It's got more pixels, so I've got more space to work on stuff, which is great because I've never had that in my life because I've always had shit, and now it's good. It's good, not bad. Oh, whoa. What the hell does he say? What does the fox say? He says, I'm not going to focus because I'm a fucking cunt. Yeah, so it's a new monitor and it's really cool and you can see it from a different angle and it's like, oh, it doesn't go that bad in different angles, so you can see it in different angles and that's good. The screen itself stretches out very much so that there's barely any borders and it's great. It only takes up about as much space as the previous screen that I had, which was actually smaller in terms of its display size. I also moved this little thing for... I mean, the sticky's pretty much gone on this thing. So yeah, I moved this thing to right here because it wouldn't stay on top here, and leaving it down here is probably better. Actually, the first thing that I did before doing any of this PC stuff was I got one of these little Wi-Fi or these internet adapters that brought the Ethernet up to my room, so that I could actually plug in the Ethernet. I did that from my laptop because I wasn't getting good Wi-Fi reception up here, but now I'm using it for this, of course, because I need Ethernet, because this doesn't have any wireless functionality in it off the get-go. Obviously, I have my wireless mouse and Bluetooth fiddly-diddly-dees over here, as you do. And that was that. That was the story of me and the PC. Shout out to my friend again. Go check him out. That was cool. Thank you very much for watching and all that.